I'm literally crazy about color, and flowers are truly nature's rainbow. So today on Behind the Bloom podcast with RJ and myself, it's the companion episode to episode 211 of Life in Bloom. I'll explain how our favorite colors tell us more about ourselves. I share how you can influence emotions with different color combinations. We'll make colorful hummus in different colors. I'll make some rainbow shots and share the studies that prove that yellow flowers can make us get well sooner. And we'll talk about the incredible rainbow rose. It's a colorful flower podcast today on Behind the Bloom. After today's podcast, you'll be familiar with what colors can help us influence emotion, both our own and others too, and what our favorite color can tell us about ourselves. Finding the perfect color of flowers for any occasion is a valuable service your local flower seller can provide to you. Visit them today and see all the colors of the rainbow. In flowers, of course. Cal Flowers is a proud sponsor of Behind the Bloom podcast, where flowers and wellness go hand in hand.
Hey, Jay, how are you?
I'm great. I'm ready to talk about color.
Yes, I am too. This was a fun episode. Yeah.
I love the wreath at the beginning of the
Oh,
show.
yeah.
I really do. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just so pretty. And I love that
Yeah.
we made it on a turntable
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
so that we could spin it around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which brings me to our Bloom 365 tip.
Oh, yes.
When I'm making a wreath like this, one of the things that you'll notice is when I have a foam-filled wreath, I wrap it with anchor tape. And I use a 1/4-inch anchor tape just to wrap it around, and I wrap it about an inch apart all the way around. And everybody's like, why do you do that? And it's my insurance policy for that, because when you're making as many insertions as I make in this beautiful rainbow wreath, you need to have a little bit of control. Now, you could wrap chicken wire around it, but that's more difficult. And it's really easy to just use that 1/4-inch anchor tape and go all the way around. That makes sure that the foam stays attached to the base and that it's not going to break apart and explode. It also works for you to wrap it around like a sphere or something like that if you want to do that too.
Oh.
It just adds a little bit more of a mechanic, and an insurance policy is the best way I can explain it. It's a mechanic to hold that foam together.
I gotcha. Okay.
We use that trick a lot on the show, so it is a good trick for people to know. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It was so much fun hearing you just see the progression of that all being made, and you talk about all the different colors as you're putting them in.
It was a good vehicle for that too. Everyone has a color horoscope.
Okay.
The difference between your color horoscope and your birth horoscope is your birth horoscope doesn't change. But you can change your color horoscope. So as an example, little kids who are in 3rd grade have a propensity to have their favorite color be orange.
Really?
Isn't that an interesting? I think that's a very
Yeah.
interesting piece of trivia, because that's when kids are changing the most. And orange is the color of change, and it's something new, and they know that it makes them feel different and makes them feel excited, and so they like the color orange. Now, at different points in your life, different colors can mean different things. I think about this every day. Color is the most important thing to me when it comes to arranging flowers, but also to arranging my life.
Okay.
I joke about when I moved in with Cal here 30 years ago, he had built the house, everything was painted white, and everything is painted color now because I am this color guy. I want those colors to be involved. And so this also stems from a book by Leatrice Eiseman called Colors for Your Every Mood. And it is my favorite book about color. There is not a better book about color than that book. And Leatrice Eiseman is the worked for Pantone and still does advise for them. She is the foremost color expert in the world.
Okay.
We have been friends forever and ever and ever, and I'm wild about her. She wrote this book, Colors for Every Mood, and it talks about how each of those colors make us feel. The color wheel that we sell on the website, I will put a link for this on there too. Our color wheel lists all of these attributes of the colors and lists how the different colors affect our emotions and what they do. That's all on that color.
And you talk about it a little bit in the episode too.
Correct. And so we made that color wheel years ago. There's a very crazy picture of me up in the corner because it's an old picture. It is one of those things that tells these things. The other thing it tells us is blue is the most popular color of any color. It's liked by more people per capita than any other color. One of the things that Leatrice aligns with it is that people who like blue will have blue in their home. They will have a blue wall or blue carpet or a blue sofa or blue drapes because blue is a difficult color to find in nature. She also addresses in her book that the reason that she believes is because we have blue sky. And so the blue sky, there's so much of it. So blue is sporadic everywhere else. And blue ocean, right? So if you think about how much ocean there is, how much sky there is, you don't need as much blue, So I think it's very interesting because there was a blue jay outside this morning when I was getting ready, and I was looking at him, and I just thought, you are so cute.
They're so pretty.
Yeah, I just love that blue coloration when it comes up. There's a flower called Tweedia now that my friend is growing in Salinas, John Louie, at Green Valley Farms. He's growing this Tweedia, and Tweedia is a blue flower. And it's a really long-lasting flower. It looks like it's not, but it's so long-lasting. It's a euphorbia, and it's gorgeous. I think seeing those blue flowers and stuff like that is very important. I used to have a shtick I would do in my shows for the professional florist where I would bring out a yellow arrangement and an orange arrangement, a red arrangement, a pink arrangement, and we would talk about the different types of emotions that they create. And so, like, yellow was my dad's favorite color, and yellow's for perfectionists. People who are perfectionists have a tendency to like yellow, but they're also the people that are the sunshines in our life. Okay. And my dad would always joke. He would always get up in the morning and say, "Good morning, Lord." And the rest of us, I would say, would get up and say, "Good Lord, morning." And that is my feeling about it. But yellow makes us feel better when we are sick. And we will get better faster if we're surrounded by yellow flowers or yellow things. That's an important concept as well. We have one room in the house that's yellow. I insist on that. That's a very important thing. Each one of them has their own deal. Orange is accepting and friendly. It is the least popular of any color. People don't like orange. It's the color of change. I love orange because I'm a Pisces and I love change.
Okay.
So I really like orange, but some people don't. Some people, and it's a friendly color. That's true too. Red is an extrovert, a confident, a courageous, optimistic flower. Optimistic people too. With that, I think what's interesting about red too is red and orange will stimulate our appetite.
Oh, I've always heard that. That's why so many fast food companies are red logos.
Have red logos. Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah. It is no coincidence. Burger King, Wendy's, because they will activate your appetite. And painting your kitchen red is not a good idea if you're trying to watch your weight.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
That's an important thing too.
The
other thing too is that people who like red, if someone tells me that they like red, I know that that's a very sexual person.
Oh, interesting.
Which is something that Leatrice tells in this book. So that's how I learned that.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about pink. So pink is the one color that is the sweetest color for us mentally. When we see pink, we think of something sweet to eat like bubblegum.
Oh, okay.
It's also an innocent color. It's also loving and sensitive. The thing that's interesting about it to me is they always say that people who like pink are closet red people.
Oh,
so I would say that in my programs, and then I would be like, okay, you guys are all closet red people, like you're kind of sexual in the closet, and then people would be like, oh no, and they would laugh. But I think it's true, because pink is a tint of red.
Yeah.
So, that's going to happen as well. Purple, I think about this all the time. So we're recording today, right? And so purple is protective. So like amethyst, an amethyst jewel will protect you. There is a spiritualness and a magicalness about the color purple. And so people will use that. It's also the color of passion. If you think about that, it's also a color that's used at Easter because of Passion of the Christ. So there's that as well. I always think about purple being protective. When I was getting dressed this morning, I was like, let's see, I have some purple socks. I have some purple underwear. So I have purple underwear and socks on today because I thought it would be protective while that's the way that I think about it. When I put on my jeans every day, I think about them being blue. It's just like one of those things. I had a green shirt. Green is my favorite color. Even though I like orange, I do like green. And green people are known to love gossip.
Oh, okay.
Which, if you're going to talk about somebody, come sit next to me because I want to know the whole story. So but it's also, they're compassionate. They're the joiners of clubs and organizations, they say. So it's like the local PTA. It's also a color of the environment or eco-consciousness.
Okay.
So that's very important too. Blue, conservative and reliable.
Okay.
And then, and peaceful. People who like blue are calmer. They're a little more laid back. What's your favorite? So that's my next question.
Oh, I think I like blue. A lot of my clothing is blue. I
Okay.
like I do feel like it's definitely like a calming, and I like that kind of like you mentioned that there's not a lot of blue in nature. So when you do see it, it's very exciting. I like a blue jay, a bluebird.
Right?
There's not a lot of even blue flowers. It's kind of harder to find that real like periwinkle or, like a natural blue. And when you do find it in nature, I feel like it's so exciting.
It's
Other than the
true.
sky and the ocean, it's a lot tougher to find. So I think blue for
Do
me.
you have blue in your house?
Oh, I do not actually. So that's
Okay.
interesting.
Like
Yeah.
no bed sheets, no towels, no.
No.
But you have clothing.
Clothing. Yeah, yeah. We have some blue stuff like hanging on the walls, like some photography and stuff like that.
Okay.
But also we rent.
Oh, okay. So then,
Yeah.
yeah.
And our walls are kind of a light blue
Right,
gray.
right,
So
right.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. It was funny when I moved to Atlanta, I would live in an apartment and you had to, I painted
Oh,
everything. I did
oh, good for
everything.
you.
And then when
Yeah.
I left, they were like, "You're not going to get it back." And I was like, "I know." And they were like,
Yeah.
"Because you've basically ruined this apartment." That's what they said to me. And I was like, "Okay, got
Oh.
it." Then I went back like a year later and they had pictures of my apartment empty in their promotional materials.
Oh, so they
And
liked
I
it.
was like, "You liked it,
Yeah.
you liars." But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and I get it. I understand. But like,
Yeah.
I papered the bathroom with maps.
Oh, how cool.
The counters were this gross linoleum.
Mhm.
They were literally linoleum with a wire edge. So I
Oh,
built an edge on it and I put down fake ivy leaves, glued them to the countertop, and then poured
oh,
Envirotex over the top.
oh, cool.
And then it had just a square. There was a square linoleum in the kitchen, and I
Mhm.
just cut little squares of black and put it diagonally on each of the junctures where it came together, so it looked like it was a better looking tile. And then I had
Oh.
one wall that I had painted. I just took some paint and kind of stripped it out in different quadrants and painted that wall. Each one of the different quadrants a different color. It was really cool. I loved it.
I need to take a little bit more like liberty with my apartment then.
Now see, I'm
You're
going to get sued over this.
Yeah, you're
But yeah.
inspiring me, Jay.
But I was just like, I got to live here. I think the security deposit back then was like $600.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
Okay.
I guess I'm going to lose that. Well, whatever.
It's important to be comfortable and
Yeah,
like where you live too.
yeah, I
So,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I had several places where I had put up a spring shower curtain and then put drapes on it. So like you would go through drapes to get into the kitchen and go through drapes to go into
Oh,
the bedroom because
that's cool.
I just wanted it to be like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We've talked about doing that with like those beads, like the hanging
sure,
beads.
sure,
We're
sure,
like, that'd
sure.
be a
Yeah,
cool
yeah,
way to
yeah.
just because, it's a small apartment, but it's nice to have like break things up into different rooms. So we were
Absolutely,
like, I don't know, we haven't
absolutely.
done it yet, but we've talked about maybe hanging something like that. So we'll see.
You could put up blue beads.
Yes, there we go. There we go.
Be very nice. Aquamarine
Yeah.
color would be very
Oh,
nice.
I love it, Jay.
All right.
Yeah.
So then we talked about the influence of emotion. Monochromatic colors make people calm down.
Mm-hmm.
I used this a lot when I had my store. If I had a bride who was like a bridezilla,
Mhm.
and was bouncing off the walls, I would suggest one color for the color of the wedding.
Okay.
Because monochromatics will calm people down. Also, it can be used like if there was a tragic funeral, if somebody was like killed in a car accident or someone had cancer, I would just suggest that they would and the family was very distraught. I would try and use monochromatic colors to help people settle down and calm down.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's very effective. This red arrangement that we made first is just all red colorations. And even in an intense color like red, it's still calming to look at something that is all tints, tones, and shades of one color.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that was interesting too. Even the reddish foliage in there, I think, was good.
Yeah.
Using the pinks and burgundies too, I think in there was good as well. That red vase, I have 2 of those red vases and I still have that vase. I don't know if Accent Decor makes that one anymore, but it sure is a pretty red vase. It's just got such a punch of color. I prefer punch over pop of color.
Can you describe what the difference is?
It's just a semantic thing. I hate when people say pop of color.
Oh.
And I like punch
the
now,
word, okay.
especially after the monkey.
Yeah.
After
I know,
the monkey.
Punch the monkey.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that too. So I
Oh,
just like a punch
yeah.
of color. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's more what it should be than a pop. I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't like the term a pop of color.
Yeah.
But a punch
I
of color.
like punch now. I'm gonna
I
start
like
using
punch,
that.
yeah, punch is better.
I'm gonna get a punch of blue in my apartment.
Yeah, exactly. With beads.
Yes, yes.
With beads. We did the cool side of
Mhm.
the so analogous colors are colors that are next to one another in the color wheel. And those
Okay.
analogous colors are friendly or welcoming. I know I say this so frequently. I've said it in so many things. And I think I was watching something the other day. I'm looking through stuff also to look for other, tips and tricks and things like that. I say this frequently that it's like talking over the fence to your next door neighbor or going and borrowing a cup of sugar. Do you even know what that means?
Wait, like when you go next door to actually
Well, yeah,
borrow something?
okay, as a kid,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was like this thing that people in Nebraska would meet at their fence and talk to each other
Okay.
over the fence,
Yeah, yeah.
or that you would go next door and borrow a cup of sugar to bake something.
Right, right.
I wonder
If that's being phased
if
out,
that
if
is
people are
even something people would do anymore. It's like, oh, I need a cup of sugar. I guess I'll hop online and order up some and get it delivered to
Amazon
the
can come
door. Or
drop it off. Yeah, yeah.
DoorDash will bring it to my
Yeah.
door. So maybe you don't do that,
I
and
know. Growing up, I feel like that was something that, I would do in the neighborhood I grew up in, or, we knew our
yeah.
neighbors all really well. And I feel like it's gotten phased out in my life. And I wonder, part of it is like a post-pandemic thing too. I feel like, I don't
Right,
know.
right.
And I hope it goes back to the way it was, and maybe in some places it is, but I feel like you kind of ran from your neighbors a little bit during the pandemic.
And I think the other thing is politically, we do that now too.
That's part of it too.
I think about WALL-E, the Disney WALL-E movie, where
Mhm.
everybody at the end of that movie, all the people were just these big blobs that sat in lounge chairs.
Oh, right.
I can see that happening. We have friends who live across the street and they
Mhm.
have 2 dogs and we have 2 dogs. When we see each other, our dogs want to see them too, but then we sit and visit with them. We're
Oh,
on our walk
nice.
and we talk and the dogs get to see each other and greet each other and all that stuff. And I like that. I'm very thankful for my neighbors.
Yeah.
I don't want to know in some cases if I agree with them politically. I like the idea of how my grandpa always said to me, I've never met a stranger. I've only met a friend I haven't made yet.
Oh, I love that.
And I think we need a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I agree.
I have amazing friends that I would walk
Mhm.
through fire for. And I always joke about my neighbor Troy that if my house was on fire, I would call the fire department, but Troy would be putting it out with the hose before they got here.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the kind of neighbor that he is,
Oh, that's so
And
nice.
yeah, it is. It's just one of those
Mhm.
things. So I think
Yeah.
that those analogous colors are those
Yeah.
feelings. It's about a friendly
Mhm.
situation. Then the
Mhm.
complementary ones cause excitement. And
Mhm.
I always used to joke that from the time we were little babies, when we saw red and green together, we knew we were going to get presents. Because
Oh, right.
Christmas decorations would be red and green, and then there'd be presents.
Mhm.
So I think that that's why it makes us excited. But it's also interesting that purple and yellow or orange and blue make us feel the same way. They create excitement for us. So they can almost create like a party atmosphere.
Mhm.
I love that. We have another show that will come up later that is called Color Schemes, and it is a show just devoted to this purpose. I learned all of this from Colors for Your Every Mood from my friend Leatrice Eiseman, who is brilliant. She is the foremost color specialist in the world. She knows more about color than anyone I know. You can actually go and take classes from her too and become a color expert, I believe is what the name of it is. But yeah,
Oh,
she offers classes and she lives in Arizona now. She used to live in Seattle, but now she lives in Arizona. You can go
okay.
there and do that. So yeah.
I loved this segment, Jay, just before we move on from this, just seeing all of the different ones and you putting them up. Like, I'm a very visual person, and it's one
Right.
thing to like see them in different places, but when you had them all side by side, it's like I could literally look at like, the monochromatic and have a feeling, and then look at like, all the different colors and have a different feeling. So it was really interesting to hear you talk through all of it and have them all out there at the same time and visually take it all in and like understand what you were talking about. So I appreciated you like showing them all together.
And I think that's an important part of floristry or flower arranging or flower hobbying
Hmm.
is what those flowers look like together.
Right.
I am known throughout the industry. People will say that you have really amazing sense of color. It has to do with this book and it has to do with implementing it.
Okay.
We went to an antique store one time in Austin, Texas, and all of the displays were arranged by color.
Cool.
They were not arranged by the stuff that was similar. And
Mhm.
we go to antique shows all the time. We love to
Mhm.
go to antique shows. You will see when someone curates well with color, and it will make you purchase, like department stores or even grocery stores. I mean, that's the other thing too is when you go to the grocery stores, they don't put the apples and the oranges and the pineapples all in the same bin together. It's
Mhm.
big swaths of color,
Mhm.
and it's at the front of the store.
Right.
And it's to welcome you with color and get you moving through the store. And when they create an end cap, it will be one color or one product. That is a color initiative that Leatrice Eiseman talks about a lot in her book, is
Okay.
that people do that. And so I think when you talk about visually looking at these side by side, it's important. People would say after my shows, oh my God, that was one of the most beautiful flower shows I've ever seen. It was mostly just because it was divided by color. It's easy to go into a flower seller and say, I'm going to buy blue today. Or I'm going to buy blue and look, they have orange and I'm going to put that blue and orange together. Or today they don't have orange, they have purple and green. I'm going to put those with my blue and that's going to look better. So I think that that's part of the concept. And here's the other thing I'm going to tell you. There's no white in this show.
Oh, of course not, Jay.
Because white
You
will
don't
wreck it so fast.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that. Again, I'm going to go back to the growers. Growers love to grow white flowers because they produce more. They're less susceptible to pesticides, or less susceptible to bugs. They're less susceptible to disease. They can grow more of them. They can cut more of them. They're generally cheaper than a unique or unusual color. But then they want to mix them with other colors. And this is from Leatrice Eiseman's book, so this is where I learned it. White looks the best when it's 50-50. And so
Okay.
if you think about a gingham tablecloth, a checked tablecloth, that's when white looks its best, is when it's 50-50 with another color. But when it's not, it dilutes that color spectrum by over 35%. That one piece of baby's breath or that one white rose stuck into the front of something is going to dilute that color spectrum. And I see it so much when I look at bouquets. I promise you, I would never buy a bouquet that has white in it. I would buy one that is all color. And whether it's all lavender color or all pink color, or whether it's pink and hot pink and orange, or whether it's blue and green and purple, I'm going to buy that first, and I'm going to buy something that has white in it. And if I did buy something with white, it would have to be 50-50. I think that that's a very important thing to think about. White does the same thing in your home. I see like on these decorating shows where they have one wall color. And they're like, well, that wall color needs to change, or it needs to be. And I know why they paint houses white when they show them, because it's a blank canvas for people to look at. Just that dilution of color that happens with white. It's very, very, very evident. Okay, so look behind here. Look at the intensity of the green and that little thing that has green and yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Above your hand.
And there's the white wall switch.
Oh, yeah.
And now look at how all that color isn't nearly as intense anymore.
You're right. I'm not even noticing
because it's the white.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's a thing. It's a thing. And like putting a container garden full of white flowers is gorgeous. But when you put one white flower in with a whole bunch of other colors or one other type of color, it dilutes that color spectrum and it doesn't seem to have the punch of color that we would like it to have. I will get off my soapbox about we are doing a show about white flowers in season 9. So you can see my milk glass. And,
I'll believe it when I see it,
yeah,
Jay.
it's all coming. When it comes to flowers and increased vase life, I choose Chrysal Flower Food and have enjoyed the benefits for years, professionally and personally. My favorite product is Chrysal Professional 3. This formula feeds the flowers and helps control growth of bacteria in the vase. If you want to try Chrysal Flower Food products, visit their website, chrysalflowerfood.com. Look for the link in the podcast description. Use our special discount code uBloom10. That's the letter U, Bloom, 10, for 10% off your purchase. Support the joy of flowers. The Life in Bloom Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to flower education and inspiring a love of flowers in everyone. The foundation helps fund the production of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom on public television, making it possible for viewers across the country to enjoy the beauty and benefits of flowers. The foundation also provides free flower education to high schools, colleges, and floriculture programs through uBloom.com, helping students and future florists bloom in their own careers. Your donation in any amount makes a difference. Plus, All contributions are 100% tax deductible. If you'd like to help us continue sharing the power of flowers, visit the lifeandbloomfoundation.org to donate today. Thank you for your support. Okay, so then we made colored hummus. What is up with that?
This was cool. I love this. Yeah, it was so fun to hear you talk about how do I make a red food? How do I make a yellow food? A green? Like, I feel like it brings in all of these different ideas. It's just a fun way to think of it. It's not like, oh, I just want to start eating some beets. It's like, how do I make something red? How do I make something? I don't know. It was cool.
This is one of the things that we made that the crew ate everything. They ate it all. They ate all of the hummus and everything. People were like sticking their finger in it. And I think people like hummus. I think hummus is a really cool thing and I like to eat it. And I think it was just great to make it red with the beets or with the carrots and the orange juice and the turmeric to make it yellow. And I think that it was interesting that the red peppers made it orange.
Yeah. And the yellow, I was surprised too. Like you started with the carrots and I was like, wait, this is going to make yellow?
Yeah,
and it was,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's because that, okay, now again, this is an exercise in tints, tones, and shades. Adding white to a color, adding gray to a color, adding black to a color will give you a tint, tone, or shade. These were all tints or tones of those colors because we were adding it to a white-ish, creamish hummus.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So that is going to change that as well. And that's where tints, tones, and shades come together. I liked them too because they all tasted differently.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And like the beet one really gave it flavor. And again, here's the thing. Now, if it was me, I would dye it with pickled beets because then it would give it a pickled flavor. But that's just me because I love pickled beets.
I love pickled beets too.
About pickled beets.
Yeah. I have a jar in my fridge usually. Like
if you ever come to Grand Rapids during the farmer's market, there is a little lady there who makes these homemade pickled beets.
Oh, okay.
Angelina, I think, is her name. And she's Eastern European. And she makes all these wonderful things, but she makes the best pickle. She also makes a coleslaw that is killer. And so, So if you come,
I'm getting hungry now.
No, exactly. All right. So the rainbow shots. Oh my God, the rainbow shots.
This was awesome.
Okay. So this was taught to me by my friend Mike Sass. Mike Sass works at Disney, and he has worked at Disney as a bartender forever.
Okay.
And his husband worked in security, and his husband's retired, but I don't think he has. I think he's been at Disney for 30 years.
Oh,
I think he just had his 30-year celebration. And he taught me how to make this. And it's about the density of the liquor.
Oh, okay.
And where you place it in the shaker, and then you pour it out, and the things pour out, and some of them, so like,
because that's what I was wondering. Does the liquor make it in each shot?
Orange juice mixes with the grenadine and creates the orange. And like the blue curacao, is it Sirocco?
Carousel?
Carousel, yes. Yeah, that's
right?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, blue carousel. Sorry.
Okay. I
used to say blue Curaçao because I was an idiot. Okay. So there's that. It's at the bottom of the container. It's a very heavy liquor, so it doesn't really go anywhere. You have to do it quickly too, because once you're finished at the top, it starts to want to go down.
Okay.
You had the blue last, right? The blue is last, so it's the first one.
Yeah.
And because it will sink all the way to the bottom and turn everything a muddy color, so you have to move when you do it. And this, I loved your question. Is this one serving? No, it is not. People would always come up and order the rainbow shots, and then they would have that many people.
Yeah.
And he would be like, how many people are going to be here? And they'd be like, 12. And he's like, okay. And then he'd mix it and he could pour it out.
Well, because it was only 2 ounces, I think, of vodka. So I was like, maybe if this is split out, like maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a prettier
but the
thing.
Carousel too, I guess.
It's a prettier thing than it is something that's going to get you messed up.
Yeah.
But
well, it looked really pretty.
It is really pretty. And I think that's the fun of it. And it's just a fun trick that you can do. And it's more of a bartender trick than it is a delicious thing.
Yeah, because it's impressive to watch the process, to watch the pour. Like, you don't really know if it's going to work, and then you see it work, and you're like, oh, that was really cool.
And the first time I did it, I messed it up because I didn't go fast enough. So then the second time I went faster. And then there isn't really an aqua color one.
Oh,
and there's no purple one because the grenadine and the blue are away from each other.
Oh, right.
Now, I suppose you could pour that first one, that curacao one, half first, and then at the end, when you get down to the end, pour a little bit of the grenadine one. In that one, it might be purple. That's a
Oh,
Mike
sounds like an
question. I don't know.
experiment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. And it was the second time that I had to do it for the camera, and I was like, okay, this better work, and it
Oh,
worked out. And so that is in the
the outtakes
in
you
the
see,
outtakes
right?
at the end, right? Yeah, right. So yeah, it's a fun thing. The Feel Better Fast with yellow flowers. That is
Mhm,
just something that we've always talked about. When you are sick and get flowers, you will get better faster
mhm.
because you're surrounded by the flowers. If they're yellow flowers, you will get better faster still. The yellow, it's the positivity of the yellow coloration that improves your mood and makes you literally feel better. Sometimes when I'm like dragging in the day, I'll go stand in the flower room is the room that's yellow. I'll go stand in the flower room for a minute, and that helps
Oh,
because
cool.
it's just being around that color yellow, and everything is painted, the walls are all painted and stuff. I would have painted the ceiling. I have painted the ceiling. The ceiling is painted in the bathroom, but I love a painted ceiling.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that.
Wait, so what color is the ceiling in your bathroom?
The whole room is navy.
Is navy? Oh, cool.
Navy
Yeah,
ceiling, navy walls.
yeah.
So yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that
Yeah,
one.
the rainbow
The
rose.
rainbow. Okay, so yeah,
So this was
okay,
incredible.
okay.
That blew I've never seen that before, Jay. That
You
blew my
hadn't seen it
mind.
before.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. Oh wow. Okay.
I had to, like, pause. I was like, "This is so cool."
Okay. So I do have stories that go with
Mhm.
this. The Rainbow Rose was started by a gentleman, Peter Vanderwerken. I will put a link down here because I have a video online where I actually spoke to him. But
Oh,
it was
okay.
the quality of it was really poorly done because Kelly and I shot it on a handy cam in Amsterdam. He developed and patented this process internationally. Now, here's where I found out stuff about international law. If you patent something internationally, it is up to you to police it. There's no one
Oh.
you can call to enforce it or police
Mhm.
it for you. You have to police it. And what happened was he inadvertently showed a couple people how this was done, and they stole the process and started doing it all over the world.
Oh.
So people do it all over the world with all types of flowers. There's Gerber daisies, there's carnations, there's chrysanthemums, there's roses, and they do them also in different colors. So
Mm.
they can do them in rainbow, they can do them in pastel. They might do two colors and make them a football team rose.
Oh, okay.
All of this came from Peter Vanderwerken's expertise about how to get this done. Basically, what I will tell you is it is done with IVs,
Oh, interesting.
and it's
Huh.
done with very small needles that
Mhm.
are stuck into the vascular system of the rose, and then this heavy dye that is very intense is sent down through the needles
Oh.
into the stem, and the plant sucks it up into the flower. I asked him one time, I said, is it bad that because I know that? And he's like, it
Mhm.
doesn't matter anymore because everybody's stolen it so much that it doesn't matter.
Oh.
I feel badly for him because he's a brilliant gentleman and he's a really good friend of mine, but
Mhm.
he discovered something that people, and it's the same way that they dye orchid plants. They
Oh,
also
yeah.
feed it in with an intravenous needle
Mhm.
into the stem of the orchid, and it draws it up into the top. When I was a kid, I was traded to another flower shop, and they would have me dye carnations. And you let the carnations dry a little bit, you cut them, you put them into a very intense dye, and they draw it up through the inside. It's systemic dyeing, so that's what they call it. It goes in the
Okay.
inside, and the dyeing happens on the inside of the flower. It's brilliant. Now, here's the thing about it. The dye is so intense to give that intense color that
Mhm.
it shortens the vase life of the flower.
I was gonna ask, is it bad for the flower? Is it not?
They don't last very long. But they're
Okay, okay.
and I have always said that rainbow roses or these colored roses are something that you do for effect right now. It is
Right,
for
okay.
something right away. It was really funny. My friend Sandy Luna, who is on our Dia de los Muertos episode, she bought a flower shop in Arizona. And she called me and she said, I want to do the rainbow roses, but I want to make them myself. And I said,
Wow.
no, you don't.
Oh,
No. No,
'cause
no,
it's
you don't.
such an
It is
intense
such an
process?
intense process. There is so much mechanics involved in it. It is way cheaper to buy them. Do not try and do them yourself. Never mind. Just buy them. And she's like, well, then they're going to be expensive. And I was like, yes, because it's a technique. I mean, okay, I can go get a filling and it's going to cost me $150. And I go have triple bypass, it's going to cost a lot more than $120
Mhm.
because it's a technique.
Right.
I mean, I hate
Yeah.
to be that graphic about it, but it's
Yeah, yeah.
true. You can go buy a cashmere sweater or you can knit one. It's probably going to cost you more to knit one, and it's not going to be as well done as the one you would buy.
Right.
because there's a technique involved. And so, I mean, it's those are the type. I'd like to build my own car. Well, it's not going to run right.
Right.
Because there's a technique to making a car, so it's just one of those things. And I think if you want a dyed rainbow rose, it's not going to last very long, and it's going to be more expensive because of the technique that it takes, or the mechanism it takes to create it. That's why it's unusual. That's why it's unique. I envy Peter. I wish that he and we would have had the knowledge of what it meant and how secret to keep it, so that he could have used it to his benefit, because he was the person who invented it. So, and I think that that's important. I hope that the guy who still made the egg beater is still getting some money for the egg beater.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hope that when people come up with great ideas that, that they continue to benefit from it. And that would be a great thing. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you could highlight him and get it out there.
And it was perfect for this episode.
Yeah.
And you'll notice, even in this episode, when we're filming them, they're not the prettiest roses, because there's damage that happens to them from the intensity of that color. And also, the other thing that they do is they cut them and let them sit dry for a little while. Well, that also shortens the vase life of that flower immensely by allowing it to sit there dry. But you want it to have created massive suction when you put in those intravenous things, that it's going to send it up the stem.
Oh, okay. So you have to deplete it a little bit to get it.
You're going to deplete it, and that shortens the vase life, and that's a problem.
Okay.
A whole show about color.
Yes, it was great.
Yeah, it was awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks so much. Right. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks for joining us this week on Behind the Bloom podcast with Jay Schwanke and RJ Pohl. If you loved what you heard, be sure to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And share it with a friend to help us spread the joy, one bloom at a time. Thank you for taking the time to slow down with us. And hopefully you left feeling a little lighter and inspired to try something new. Make sure to join us next week for a brand new episode. Thanks for being here with us, Behind the Bloom. Hey, just one more thing. If you love flowers, you've got to check out uBloom.com. It's the online home of Jay Schwanke's Life in Bloom, where you can stream every episode for free. Plus, you'll find Behind the Bloom videos, my blog, show recipes, and so much more. There's also a massive video archive, over 1,800 how-to videos, flower farm documentaries, and even my very first series, JTV. All Life in Bloom episodes, exclusive web content, and farm documentaries are totally free. Just sign up with your email. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there's a paid subscription option that unlocks the full library of how-to videos. Everything from creating bridal bouquets to centerpieces, corsages, and more. Tons of content to explore. You're gonna love it.